Welcome to the show, 5-Star Fam. I'm AJ. And wherever it is you get your pods, subscribe, share, and leave us a good rating. Welcome to another episode of 5 Stripe Weekly, and a big bombshell happened this week. Josef Martinez has apparently met with Atlanta United, and they have told him he is surplus to requirements. Basically, they will be moving on from him in 2023. And it is huge news in that the former MLS MVP for Atlanta United, things have definitely soured in the sense where, at least the front office and the head coach, they do not think that Josef Martinez is needed in 2023. Maybe some fans as well have thought this with maybe some declining form, but I mean, at the end of the day, Josef Martinez, he still was our leading scorer, albeit in a lot less time, a lot less starts for Atlanta United. Of course, recovering from an ACL tear last year, and also, pretty much more getting back to playing form this season. It's left some people with a lot to be desired, but at the end of the day, Josef Martinez also still, like I said, led the team in goals, but also won the MLS Goal of the Year with that overhead scissor kick against New England Revolution. And so, obviously this is huge news, and it's a legend for the Five Stripes that's helped us win MLS Cup, helped us win the U.S. Open Cup, Campeones Cup. I mean, biggest trophies that we won, he's been part of it. And, in terms of Golden Boot as well, I mean, numerous MLS Best 11s. He's put Atlanta United on the map to a degree. And, the hashtag build the statues, all the calls for that. I think you're starting to see, some of the people that, weren't always on board with Josef Martinez kind of start to turn on him. And, these past 18 months after his ACL injury, it's been a bit tumultuous, one would say. Maybe as well, Gonzalo Pineda, not only the only head coach that he's butted heads with, but you have Gabriel Heinze as well, who was pretty much ousted because he refused to play Josef Martinez at a certain point, of course, with other things as well, including the Watergate, really, if you will. But Josef Martinez, of course, was also suspended for one game after the Portland Timbers match for flipping the catering table that had chicken and rice. But ultimately, according to The Athletic and Felipe Cardenas, he has been told face-to-face that he will not be part of the club's future, and that they've already begun searching for a new striker, but they would still have to resolve Josef Martinez's contract, which runs through 2023. And Cardenas also said that the deal, it includes a no trade clause. Josef Martinez would have to approve any deal that he would be a part of. And there was the rumor that Charlotte FC might be looking at Josef Martinez. That would be very painful to see him in such close proximity to Atlanta United, especially playing us probably at least a few times a year. That would not be something that any of us probably would like to see, especially he would have a vendetta at that point. It would just be, you'd be motivating Josef Martinez in that sense. Just not very wise moves, I would say, probably the best move would him going to another league, and that would at least quell some of that pain that no doubt many of us are still feeling from this. But if we're going to trade him intra MLS, I would hope it's to the Western Conference, and yeah, it's going to be very strange. I mean, yeah, but according to 90 Min and Chris Smith, our buddy Chris Smith, that's yeah, Charlotte FC. They have been categorically ruled out, even though, yeah, you know, it's basically they do have all 3 DP spots, but you know, you never know what could happen. It's a wait and see kind of thing that would be very, very interesting. But according to Chris Smith, that multiple other MLS clubs are considering making offers. But yeah, you know, there is a rumor later on in this show that yes, there is a player that has been already rumored. But Josef Martinez also has been rumored to another league. It is from TNT Sports Argentina, and according to Spanish media, that Barcelona is is basically looking at Josef Martinez. He's on their radar, quote unquote. And so, yeah, plausible or not plausible? It's probably not very plausible. I mean, Robert Lewandowski is obviously their striker. They've also got Ferran Torres. It's just one of those where it's hard to see maybe exactly where he would fit, and you know why they would go for a 29-year-old of Josef Martinez, who's been playing in MLS. It just probably doesn't quite compute, but either way, you know, we will report it anyway, and you know, it will be very interesting to see if you know, Josef Martinez moves to somewhere in Europe or anything you know, in the like of that. But yeah, you know, I think we got to remember, and also, I mean, to a degree, it's like eulogize Josef Martinez's Atlanta United career, and you know, one of the things that he said, you know, in yesteryear was, quote, "When I die, I hope the fans remember me fondly, and hopefully they take down that statue, that Falcon statue," laughs, "or at least build one of me that's the same size right next to it." So, I mean, yeah, it will remain to be seen if he will have that said statue. I think, you know, it is something that's people were clamoring for, but kind of an acrimonious kind of you know, exit here. It may not exactly happen how you know, maybe he was thinking, if that were the case. So yeah, it is perplexing, you know, this move. It's done by the front office and the head coach, where there's not a president in place. This not only has footballing or soccer impact, but this has immense marketing you know, impact, as well as you know, kind of the sports landscape of Atlanta, that type of impact, because he is absolutely, without a doubt, a face of Atlanta United. And to make this move without a president in place, with just Steve Cannon, the interim CEO, in place, it doesn't quite exactly sit right with me. I think that you know, we've given the reins too much, maybe, to Carlos Bocanegra to make a lot of these very, very impactful decisions, where his position is tenuous here, and I don't think that you know, any of these moves should really quite yet be done until we do have a president in place. So hopefully, we can see, and maybe there is a backtracking to what has been reported so far. But on to that transfer rumor. According to TYC Sports, Atlanta United and Charlotte FC, they've reportedly made offers to Argentine club Racing Club for 26-year-old striker Enzo Copetti. He's an Argentine 26-year-old, and he can play wide and centrally. He has 21 goals and 6 assists in 46 matches in all competitions in 2022, and that's more 11-4 for the actual kind of league that he plays in. But apparently, Racing Club, they're really willing to sell him in this next transfer window for their $10 million release clause. There also is to note that, he actually refused to take a penalty for Racing Club. Very interesting indeed. And apparently before that had missed one recently. Kind of a small footnote maybe in that, but he's a player that's in terms of some strengths, he's good aerially. He's 5'11", so a decent height for a striker. Definitely has some good power with being very strong with finishing, with headers, and maybe not the in terms of out wide, maybe the best crosser, but he is a player that likes to dribble a little bit from deep positions, gets fouled often, and he does like to do layoffs. So is that type of player that can combine with some of his teammates. So definitely interesting to see the type of profile, a 26-year-old, in his prime more so, I guess in previous years, maybe not kind of lighting the world on fire, but a player that is coming into his own a little bit more now that he's getting into his mid-20s. So whether he is the actual player that should replace Josef Martinez or not, TYC Sports, that report, I mean, we just mentioned that, Charlotte FC do have 3 DPs, but would they buy down somebody? Would they bring in somebody else, to replace Swiderowski? We shall see. But I think for Atlanta United, it kind of makes a little bit of sense. But do we trust Bocanegra right now? That's really the million-dollar question there. But So moving on from that. The MLS Cup final is on Saturday, and it will be between LAFC and Philadelphia Union, the two clubs that have pretty much led the way for the Supporter Shield this season. And LAFC, of course, won the Supporter Shield and will be hosting the final in LA. And it'll be very interesting. I mean, two clubs that's very decent attacking wise, and have some decent stars in this league. That's it will be a pretty good matchup, I think. That should bring some good entertainment. But who do you guys think would win and will win the MLS Cup final? Let us know in the comments below. But speaking of the league and some probably it'll be a little bit of a taste with the new collaboration with Apple TV on Saturday. But the future of MLS, it might look like this. Typical Saturday night. That's this is according to Sam Stechgall, but national pregame shows with match-specific lead-ins from each stadia, national postgame shows, a massive 5 to 6 hour whip-around broadcast with you know, broadcasting 12 total matches all in one streaming service. So definitely will be very, very interesting. That, yeah, I mean, Saturday nights will be MLS, you know, centric pretty much for many, many people. And I think that predictability will be really, really good for a lot of the fans in this league. Where, yeah, I mean, there have been a lot of days where fans don't know when the game is on, where the game is on, what time the game is on, everything. It's been a lot of a crap show, and this brings some more predictability, which I think no doubt will kind of at least, you know, with the kind of Monday Night Football that's, you know, NFL does really well, or, you know, NBC back then with, yeah, like the NBA on Sundays. There's definitely a little bit more predictability that will make fans be able to tune in a lot easier, and that is the key in my opinion. But yeah, moving on from that, yeah, congrats to former five-stripe Brandon Vazquez. He has made the MLS Best 11. He had 18 goals and 8 assists for FC Cincinnati this season, and that's very well deserved. And it's one of those things. It is quite painful to see, you know, Vazquez do well for another team in the league when we left him exposed in the draft, in that expansion draft where, yeah, he was selected by Nashville SC in 2019 and then traded to FC Cincy in that season for $150,000 in targeted, in TAM. And so it's one of those things where we got $50,000 in allocation money. Yeah, it's one of those. It's a giant miss. It's one of those where it's happened again, of course, with Anton Walks, who, yeah, you know, ended up being, you know, drafted by Charlotte FC as well. You know, it's a you can't protect everybody, but you know, there are. And those two, especially, you know, it's funny, like both of them, that little bromance they had, the Branton romance, they both were exposed and picked up. We're a club that, yeah, you know, our depth has been picked away, and even though we have the resources to replace these players, we have not done so well. And yeah, you know, young guy in Vazquez, he finally came into his own in 2022. So, yeah, congrats to the boy. Proud of him. Also, it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Now, last bit of news is that Gabriel Heinze, he has resurfaced after 15 months after his firing from Atlanta United. But he is now coaching Newell's Old Boys in Argentina. So, definitely interesting to see how they might, you know, take him in there, but I think it's you know, it's a club that he's familiar with, and you know, he had you know, previously been there as well, so it's maybe they're already used to, you know, that kind of fiery personality that Heinze is. But yeah, you know, I would say, I might say, interesting to see him resurface, but I think it always made sense that it was going to be Argentina first for him to kind of prove himself again. But yeah, that is the news for the week and pretty much the entire show except for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, which former five-stripe do you miss the most? Not Miggy. Even though, yeah, I mean, congrats to Miggy on an incredible month. He got the Premier League Player of the Month as well. I mean, he has been killing it for Newcastle as of late. Finally coming good for the Toons. But, yeah, which former five-stripe, not Miggy, do you miss the most? Looking forward to what you have to say. Get at us in the comments. But guys, that is the episode there and there. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. I have been AJ. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.